lot of the streaming stuff the last couple of years. So we had a large booth set up for PRG. We had a stream run block or a speed run block on day 2.
Apparently, I didn't see that. So, because I go to PG, I do the Portland Retro Gaming Expo every year, and I didn't know you guys had that.
Yeah, we had so that large stage in the main hall
Right.
on one side. That was us.
Dang. Okay. So, what games did you all run?
I'm trying to remember what all was done. There were a couple Game Boy games like
Good evening,
Yellow
folks,
Run.
and welcome to Wednesday night speedruns.
So there was
We are at a
Tennis
gaming
Run
and
at one
card
point.
store here in Portland, Oregon.
it
We've
was
got
like
an
a
excellent
4 or
speedrun
5
lineup
hour
for you guys
block.
tonight. We have Super Metroid run by Gameaholic here.
Oh, looks like we're starting. Right.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey everyone, this is Gameaholic, and hey, hope you're all enjoying your day. And yeah, I will be doing 80% Super Metroid run.
Awesome.
So, yep.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead and give me that countdown.
Yep. All right. Think I'm good to go. So yeah, let's do in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And Raw.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So for those who's tuning in, hope you all enjoyed GDQ, and we'll be doing Super Metroid. And for those who aren't familiar with Super Metroid or who are just getting familiar with the speedrunning, we'll be doing 80%, so we'll just be beating the game as fast as we can without any major glitches. So no out of bounds, but mainly just beating the game as fast as you can with a lot of normal strats with some really cool tricks. Alright, so we'll be getting to the Ridley Room, and the way you can end this fight is to either shoot him 100 times or get your health down low enough. And because getting hit 5 times is a lot faster than shooting him 100 times, we're opting to do the damage route. Alright. So nothing too crazy here, we're just trying to escape. And you notice I'm pumping my arms up and down, and that's not really out of boredom. You actually do move a pixel closer if you do that, which is a super minor time save, but it's basically free. Ooh. Pretty good steam combo, and almost got a 44 there, but we'll take a 43 Saris. Alright, we're onward to get our first item. Probably the most important item in the game since it lets us actually go through this place. Just the morph ball. Oop, missed that door over there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 sec. And I'm just counting platforms so you figure out when I want to move left or right. So you may, for those who are more familiar with speedrunning or who watched Oats and Goats run for AGDQ, you may have seen a trick called Moonfall, which lets them fall a lot faster than they can. And that trick is called Moonfall. And it's a pretty trivial trick to learn, but you do have to learn how to maneuver differently since it does change how you maneuver on certain boss fights when you charge. And haven't figured out how to properly learn that. So, fortunately, we won't be seeing any Moonfall tricks. It's a minor time save. If you do everything perfectly, then you could save up to 6 seconds. But when you're starting out, you could probably save about 2 or 3 seconds. And that's assuming you're executing the boss fights just as well as without Moonfall. We're getting up first missile over here. And we're off to our first mini boss. Some more on-pumps. And we'll be doing the climb. And there are two optimal ways to do this. You can either wall jump on the right, which unfortunately I messed that up, or you can do the ledge climb, which involves skipping the enemies. Both of them are pretty viable in terms of speed runs, but yeah. Fortunately, I'm messing up this strat. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Fortunately, if you mess up on this climb with that strat, things go pretty downhill, because then you load the enemies and they're respawning at the wrong spots. Alright. Off to our first boss. And ideally I want to come in this room without taking damage, because with the way item drops work in this game, you're guaranteed to get, you have a high chance of getting other items depending on if you're full on health or ammo. So because I'm full in health, I won't get any health drops from this guy, and those health drops will get converted into ammo. Yep, that's sweet. And because I was full health, I was guaranteed to get missiles for all those drops.
Very clean.
Yeah, thank you. So that was a run round bomb trees fight. And we'll be doing this trick called the Alcatraz escape. So normally you'd bomb to the right, but with careful wall jumps and tight timing, you can actually skip the bombing parts, which saves about 6 seconds. But really big on the swag.
Color me impressed for certain.
Yeah. Typically not a strat that I'd recommend early on, but in terms of time saves and the effort, since it does take a bit of effort and and you do lose time if you mess up like more than twice. Also, for those who are maybe a bit more familiar with some of the higher runners, there's actually two routes for 80%. You have the new route and the old route. The new route is a much difficult route that does save about a minute, and then you have the old route, which people have been running for, which was the traditional route that people take, and falls with a different boss order. We'll be doing the old route because it's a lot easier. And then there's this trick called Mach Ball, which lets us keep our movement speed with their morphing ball, and that lets us get the super missiles early on, which lets us skip a mini boss, which takes freaking forever to kill. And essentially you keep your movement speed when you morph ball. Alright, so just collecting a few more items, and then we'll be heading trade, so a bit more missiles, and then charge beam, which is probably another important item, since it lets us not only do more damage, but it lets us damage bosses, because most bosses only take damage with charge beam or ammo, and so with charge beam it lets us skip collecting some ammo. See if I can get this through. Oh, sweet. So if you get the Mach Ball over there, you can actually skip a bunch of. It's one of the fastest ways to get through this room. All right. So if I was doing a new route, I'd be going up to do Phantoon instead, but we'll be doing the old route, which will get us to the intended first boss. Now, just for a bit more insight, the new route basically trades, what was it? An easy early game for a better route, but it's extremely difficult as you're fighting the second boss early on, and you're also skipping certain items as some of the other items will be out of the way. So not only is it difficult to finish, but it's also difficult to speedrun, as you'll be playing just as aggressively with less health and less items. Alright, so we'll be heading to Kraid. Alright, so I'm mentioning this room as the Morph Ball because basically when there's a lot of particles coming up, you do introduce a lot of lag. So shortening Samus's hitbox does lessen the lag. Alright, and I'll be setting the quick Kraid kill. Fortunately I messed that timing up. If I did that correctly, I could have skipped this animation where he stands up. Alright, well, fortunately that wasn't too bad since we killed him pretty quickly, but...
Good stuff. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. I like to call it the marathon curse, where you end up practicing it all day last night and somehow you just mess up on this marathon stream.
You'll do it 100 times in practice perfect, and the second someone's watching you.
Yep. Oop. And what I just did was a damage boost. So basically, you can use the momentum. If I turn in a specific direction, I can actually use that momentum to damage myself in the opposite direction. Alright. So this next item is optional, but we'll take it for safety. You need a minimum of 3 energy tanks to beat the game, and typically this item is skipped. And this is what we like to dub the Kraid tank. And it's also barely a time loss, so if you're still starting out, I highly recommend getting it. Alright, and then we'll be heading to Norfair, getting some necessary items, and then we'll be heading straight back up. Alright. We're opening the door on the left, right, so we're going to have to kill that guy again. Some of the gray doors can only be opened if you kill all the enemies in the room. In this case, it's only one. Alright. And then we'll be getting our next major item, which will be the speed booster, and then the missile, and then we'll be on our way out. Got that jump. Doesn't look super fancy, but it's really hard to pull off. You have to do like you have to do a precise jump to land that first platform in Cathedral. And this is how you choose this room. Just morph your ball, go in the morph ball, and just roll underneath everyone else before lava rises. Now this is what we like to dub the real boss in Super Metroid. This oh, and I messed that up. Meant to somersault. There we go. Basically, the timing, that thing, the red thing called cact, can really screw you over. So, typically, you want to charge yourself up there if you want to be consistent. It does use up. It does. You do spend some time doing the safe strat, but that thing can really screw you over. Alright, and then we got the speed booster. Since this is a speed run game, we naturally want to get the item that makes us go really fast. Alright, we'll farm to full ammo for a bit over here. Alright, sweet. Missed the damage boost over there. And then we'll be getting our last major item, which is the Wave Beam. Which is mainly going to be used for extra damage, so to speed up certain boss fights. Alright, let's see if we can get this jump over here. Oh, fortunately I did not get the right jump. If you do it right, these blocks up there are crumple blocks. But and I'm at the point where I'm actually trying to get to the next boss, and I want to be as full health as I can. Apparently I'm missing this jump. Alright, there we go. Only took a couple tries. Oop. Alright. Taking damage is not a good thing right now since, again, I am going for a major boss and I'm going to be spending some health to traverse the next few spots. Alright. I've only taken 20 damage, so it's not too bad. Taking a shortcut to get out. Alright. Ooh. We're getting some health, so that worked out. Alright. We'll be attempting a trick called Alpha Spark, which lets us do some series of movements to spark ourselves to another spot. So we'll see if I can get it off. Alright, here are the echoes, so I got the herb. Alright. Got it. So that lets us bypass this room platforms. It doesn't save that much time, but it is super swaggy.
Swag is better than time in every situation.
Yes, absolutely. So normally you need Ice Beam to get through this spot, but with precise timing you can actually weave yourself through these guys. And ooh, I messed that up. Okay, let's see if I can do a backup strat. I need to wait till that guy moves out. Okay, did not get that, so... Alright, we still made it. Missed the single jump though. We'll be damage boosting our way out here so we can skip most of these platforms. Yeah. So the funny thing is I haven't gotten Alpha Spark in my PB in a while, and that's actually the trick that I'm most inconsistent with. So it was just really cool I was able to show off the Alpha Spark. Right. And we got our first power bombs, which will let us get into Phantoon. So you notice we've almost taken 100 health, and we're still not done spending health yet. So we'll be using our power bombs early here since we'll need to come back, and we don't need power bombs early on. All right, and for streaming's marathon safetiness, we'll take a save here. Phantoon shouldn't be too difficult, but he can get a little trolly at times. Oops. Alright. So normally we wouldn't be getting more health, but since we went to save room, we respawn those enemies, and they're virtually guaranteed to drop health if I'm full super missiles, otherwise they'll drop super missiles. By virtually free, I mean it's like a less than 1% chance, which may or may not have happened. Alright. Be opening the door to our right. We'll be doing another Shrine Spark. Ooh, fortunately I did not jump high enough. Doesn't really hurt to get extra missiles, but I got enough missiles for this run. So a little extra time that we're spending to get missiles that we don't need. And we're still spending time. So you notice even after I refilled on those enemies, I'm already down by 200 health, and I am fighting another boss. So I probably would have been at like 150 if we didn't enter the save room. I almost got hit by that guy. Alright, so we're on our second major boss, which is Phantoon. Now Phantoon has a bunch of patterns, I think 12 total, and he does spawn in similar places, and if you're familiar with his movement patterns, you can pretty much predict where he's at. So let's... Alright, and he has three different sets of patterns, a mid, and slow. So it looks like this is a slow pattern. Nope, and I missed the timing, so I did get hit by the flames. Alright, let's hope that this is a mid. Got it. That was a bad doublet though, so I only got one missile in after hitting his eye. Alright, one more round should do it. Alright, looks like a slow pattern. So you notice that if you do predict his patterns correctly, you can actually hit all the flames at once. Oh, you got him. I think that was like a 4 round.
4 is that kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can optimally you can do it in 2 rounds, which is really difficult. And at least for my skill level, I'd say a 3 round is pretty good. So, but we'll take it since Fanny can be really annoying. And his damage just add up if you keep on missing his shots. All right. And we'll be getting our last super missile for this run. So at bare minimum, or without losing any time, you need at least 15 supers and 15 regular missiles and 10 supers. But 20 is usually a safe bet because 15 doesn't allow for any room of error for the last boss. And if you mess up your shots at the last boss, then it's pretty much a soft lock. Alright, we'll see if we can do the Addict Spark. So, alright. Ooh, got it. Swag and pretty huge time save since you normally have to spend a bunch of ammo if you want to kill those guys. And I'll be safe and I'll drop her a power bomb to collect some health. Alright. I think we should be fine with this health. I can see why I was worried about getting your health. Health management with Phantom, because not only do you have to fight them, but you also have enough health to do the Addict Spark and taking damage from these sparks. And farming enemies in Wreck Ship is a huge time loss, with the exception of Boiling Room, the room that I powerbombed beforehand. So, because a lot of the enemies don't die really easily, and they also don't have that high of a chance of dropping health. But fortunately, we should be pretty healthy. And then we'll be getting the gravity suit, or as I like to dub the frog suit, which will let us travel, keep a momentum in the water, and travel through it normally. Oops. Did not mean to get nicked by that fish. Oh. I did not want to get hit by that crab. Meant to do a trick called pseudo screw, which lets you spin whenever you spin with a charge jump, you can actually damage your enemies with that. But did an incorrect input there. I would like to get some more health, so I may spend some time farming in the next room, because we'll be going to do another. We'll be doing some more Shine Sparks and fighting another mini boss. Oop. Ooh, yeah. Alright, should be fine with this. Since I'm full in supers, the next Cack Attack will guarantee to drop a big health. Oop. Yep, and that is big health. I think there's like a less than 1% chance of not getting health if you're full in supers. Alright, and we'll break into soup and we'll enter the next major area. Oop, missed the jump. There's a frame perfect jump where if you jump at the right time, you can actually do a really nice jump in this room. We'll be doing a Shine Spark. And we're already below 100 health, and we're fighting another mini boss that does not drop any health in the fight. So there's some bosses like Phantom where they have mechanics where you can get more health in the middle of the fight. Butt Wound is not one of those enemies, and Just for marathon safetiness, we'll do a safety save. Shouldn't be too bad, but again, whatever health I'm coming in is the health that I'll be fighting at. Alright. Let's hope I can get the timing of this correct. Oh, nope, messed the timing. And unfortunately, yeah. So what I was trying to do is the X Factor, which is a special beam attack, which is really hard to aim. So unfortunately I messed up the opening, so he does take a bit of time to kill. I should be safe now, since as long as I crouch over here, he can't hit me. Alright. Fortunately, I am out of super missiles, and I will want a bunch of those for the next boss fight. So we'll be farming these guys in a sec. Setting up a Shine Spark to kill these guys early off. And what you saw is Shine Spark Echoes, which if you persist, whenever you crash into a wall, you actually release Echoes, which does a lot of damage and can kill enemies pretty quickly. Right, so we're full. We'll attempt to do the notorious trick called Halfy, which, oh, I missed the Shine Spark charge. It's a precise trick that's super hard to pull off, and there's two versions of the Shine Spark called the Halfy and Full Halfy. The Halfy is, as what it says, would only spark you halfway through across the room, and then there's a Full Halfy which will let you charge across all of this room. I missed the damage boost. Basically, if you pressure controls correctly, you can actually propel your damage through a different direction. Okay. Alright. Again, I shouldn't have too much problem with this boss, but we'll do a safety save, because Dragon can get a little stubborn. And I'll be doing a risky strat. Oop. Alright, did not mean. I forgot I already shoot that with a super missile. Let's see. Alright. So I said I'll be doing a risky strat called... Oh, what's going on? So normally you can't charge, you don't have enough distance to Shine Spark in this room, but with... Ooh, I forgot to kill that turret. Ooh. I missed the opening. Yeah. Alright. Apparently he's not gooping. Wow. How many swings was that? Alright. So, as I said, I'm doing a riskier strat to do more damage to Dragon by Shine Spark. So, for one, Shine Spark already costs health to damage Dragon. And two, when Dragon dies, there's a glitch that can actually let you take more damage than you're intended with Shine Sparks. Ooh. So you saw me bump her, and there, if you Shine Spark on in a certain way, you can actually lose all your health, which... But fortunately, that didn't happen, so we're fine. And if you notice, I have this thing damages blue right now, and that's actually a side effect from killing Jargon with the Shine Spark. And what this does is it lets me store a speed booster on her, but I can't dash while she's blue, so I'm just gonna be walking with her for the first few seconds, and then use this in a really cool way. Oop, there we go. Thought I'd messed up the inputs, and I can just skip through that first room.
That was sweet.
Yeah. And we're on to collecting our last item before fighting the fourth boss. Now you notice that even though I have space jump, which lets me somersault indefinitely, I'm still wall jumping, and that's because wall jumping is a lot faster than space jumping. So whenever I can, I still want to do wall jumps, even if I already have a method to only do infinite jumps. Dropping power bomb there to damage those guys while I'm grabbing this plasma beam. Just get free damage in. And did I say that this is the last item? I lied, because I forgot that we have to grab one more once we get down to the last boss. I'm not too worried about getting health since we will be going towards a refill pretty soon. So right now I'm just blitzing through the last area. Charging our plasma over here to get this guy out of the way. Normally that would have bunked at that enemy if I didn't charge my shot. Yeah. Other than a couple of supers for opening doors and power bombs, not too worried about ammo at the moment, because we do have the plasma beam, which does almost just, well, once we get the ice beam, we'll actually do almost just as much DPS as supers. Speaking of charge beams, we'll be getting our last beam, which is the ice beam. Once we get this refill, we can just make our way to Ridley.
So I have a question in the chat. Are we saving the animals today?
Oh, that's a good question. Preferably not. Well, I'm going to vote no, but
Well, I guess Dexter has to make it worth our time for saving the animals.
I apologize if I'm not answering chat. I'm basically stuck with that tiny laptop. That's just really hard to see.
I'll do my best to
Alright.
answer chat for you.
Alright, thanks. So I'm killing these guys to reduce some lag. Alright. So there's two ways to do this. One, to do super difficult Shine Spark, or to spend power bombs over here. Now, if you're doing the power bombs method, you have to be really mindful of your power bomb count, because if you mess it up like I did, I'm actually going to have to grab more and more item. And we dubbed that, well, I'll explain more about it once we get to it. So I need 2 power bombs to get to the next area, and if you notice, I only have 1. And there are no enemies that conveniently drops a power bomb from here to the place where I need to drop power bomb. So we're gonna have to take a very minor detour to get more power bombs. So unfortunately, like I said, this is where ammo management becomes super important, especially with power bombs. Right. So since we have the plasma beam, we can actually shoot through these enemies to use iframes. So we'll use 1 power bomb over here, and then we'll need another power bomb. Luckily, there is another spot for us to get power bombs, which you'll see in a sec. And this is what runners would preferably like to avoid. One, you're wasting damage by going through those enemies, and 2, you have to spend time collecting this text box. And we like to dub this the power bombs of shame. Basically, it's the power bomb you get when you mismanage your power bomb ammo. Alright. Oop. So depending on where you shoot them, you can actually get your twice the plasma shots, because it's a pretty long beam. Alright, we'll be getting ready for our 4th boss. Now I'm going to move him in a specific way for the first 2 shots. If I do this correctly, I can actually cheese half this fight. Ooh. So you notice he's just bouncing with his tail. Nope. So if I do this correctly, I can... Nope. Unfortunately, I got grabbed. There. If I stand in this corner on the left side, I'm basically safe from his attacks. Oh, is he not dead yet? I must have miscounted. No, he's not dead yet. It takes 20 shots, and apparently I must have missed a shot. I'll just do 2 more. Okay, he's gotta be dead now. There you go. And that's Ridley. Alright. And we're on to the final boss. Try to right beam to deal with these guys, so I'm bonking them. Taking a little acid bath. So I was pretty confident with the Ridley fight because he does have an AI that you can export, but escaping Norfair is a different question, and it's dangerous enough that I'm actually doing a safety save because these enemies do a ton of damage. They do about 50 damage with all the suits, and I only have 150 health, and I'll also be taking an acid bath, so I'll only be able to afford to take 2 hits from those guys. Oh, one more at this rate. And these guys are not cooperating. Alright. I'm gonna have to take that a bit slow. Alright. So I'll only be able to take 2 more damage from those guys, and I will be seeing a bit more of those guys really soon. And because Ridley doesn't drop health in the middle of the fight, you're basically running north, escaping this place with very little health. Unless you get super lucky with Ridley's drops. And in order to optimally do this run, you will have to take some magma damage. So with correct timing, I can actually shoot through these guys. Oop! That's why we take a safety save. Yeah, I stress you not. Those guys, depending on your movement, those guys can be really trolly. Alright. Oop. Okay.
We have a comment here from Official Maxwell. The commentary is really making this run great, so shout outs to you.
Thanks. Alright. Alright. So at this rate, I can't take any damage from the key hunters. So like I said, we do have to go through 3 more of those guys. So let's hope this part goes pretty smoothly. Ooh. Alright, we'll just take this slowly. No, we're gonna YOLO here. Woo! We're not out of the woods yet. Actually, well, we can cheese this. Alright, we'll just drop a power bomb there just to be safe. So that guy does exactly 12 damage. So if I got hit by that flying ball, I would have been dead there. Because I'm full on supers. That was guaranteed to get dropped. Actually, since my health was beeping, I believe once you're less than 30 health enemies, you enter this phase called a health bomb, which enemies are guaranteed to drop health instead. Alright, but yeah, we're on our way to the last boss. Alright, not too worried about my health now since there aren't that many things that can really kill me at this point. Wonder if I got the jump. Nope. Alright, so I bumped my head on that cliff on that side. If you do it correctly, you can actually get a really nice jump. Cool looking jump. Move back to Red Tower, the place where you first got out power bombs. Alright, let's see if we can do a swag strat. If I can keep my speed booster up until the next room, then they can do something pretty cool. Alright. Ooh. Nice. That's a pretty tough trick to pull off there. But if you can keep your speed booster, you can just plow through that room super quickly. Alright. And this is the AFK time. So feel free to do some Q&A while this cutscene takes place.
So far, we have primarily votes for saving those frames.
Ooh, yay. Right. I'm in favor of killing animals.
Yep, and I think all of Twitch chat is also in favor of saving those frames. Got a couple people protest in YouTube chat, but there's only one or two of them, so we outnumber.
All right.
Except for me saving those frames.
It was just really curious because typically in AGDQ, the saving and killing animals are really close, but for once, the saving animals, well, we had one in by a landslide, and I'm going to blame it on the honk memes or the goose game. Honk. Yep. Honk.
I normally don't get too involved with the yelling honk in the orb, but this HDQ, I was hollering from my room. It was a blast this year.
Yeah. Oh, the audience were super big into it.
Yeah, that's what got me into it. Is I could hear them in the background. I'm like, oh, I'm joining it. This is too much fun.
Apparently these guys aren't friendly with ammo right now, since I do want a bit more supers. So I'm actually going to group these together. And alright, that's a little better. There's no way to grab supers after this room, so I just want to make sure I had a good count. Alright, so we're good now. I don't mind being short on missiles since there are ways to refill supers, but whatever I come in with supers is what I come in this room with. And there is an ammo requirement for the first phase of Mother Brain. Alright. So I'm going to damage myself because it'll speed up the cutscene if you can't do the baby skip. And baby skip is pretty tough to do. And if you attempt to do the baby skip and mess it up, then it does become a time loss. Yep. I know I would avoid the first jump, but and this is where you can refill your missiles, which is why I wasn't too worried about my missile count, but more worried about the super, because those are super valuable. Okay. And I do prefer to use supers to speed up these rooms. And Mother Brain shouldn't be that dangerous, but we'll still take a safety save, because she can have some trolley patterns. And one of her attack does at least 100 damage, and it does have a chance to double, even triple hit. and have to have at least 300 health to survive her next phase. Alright, so we'll be doing this trick called the Zeb Skip. If I do correctly, I can just jump through that, and the rest of the Zeb Skips won't spawn. So I have 10 missiles to spare. Now, if I didn't have enough ammo, then I literally couldn't get through the next phase, and I just would have been stuck.
She's alive.
Yep. She's not dead. Now I have some leeway to take some damage, but I do need to be at least 300 health. And I actually want to get down to 300, or less than 400, to skip some cutscenes. There's a catch-up. The metric me likes to dub her attacks by food, so the blue rings, we like to dub the onion rings. She does a squiggly line that looks like a french fry. And I forgot what we call the bouncing bombs. Donuts? Okay, I cross-check with them again. But yeah, we'll be stuck with the long cutscene, so I'll be free to answer any chat questions. Oh, it takes 20 shots, 20 full beam shots to take her down. Meatballs, there we go. Yeah, for her first phase, it takes six missiles to break her, whatchamacallit, her glass, and that's actually counting the types of just hits. So instead, it actually counts the number of shots rather than damage. And then she has 3,000 health and from her brain in jar. So 10 supers and 15. What was it? And 9 missiles. 15, 14, yeah, 9. It's a pretty tanky Metroid. And rip baby Metroid. Alright, so you said we're killing animals, right?
Yep, save
Sweet.
those frames.
Let's go. And we're just shoving her in this corner. And it's actually faster to shoot her up close than in the right corner, because 1, you don't have to worry about the time it takes for the beam to travel, and 2, it actually gets pretty leggy if you shoot your missiles on this side while she's shooting her beams, because you're actually having more beams in the... When you shoot in this corner, you're actually getting more beams on the screen, which does intrude more lag when you count her Mother Brain's animations. Alright. And we're escaping. Again, because wall jumping is faster, I'm doing everything I can to wall jump rather than just relying on space jump. We'll see if we can get this trick. Sweet. So what I did is the Behemoth spark, which looks like I sparked through a platform, but with the way hitbox work, you can actually go through those if you spark a specific direction.
And what is my marker for time here?
When I get in the ship.
Okay.
So right as you see the time disappear is when you hit time. So time is now.
All right, 59:22. Well
Nice.
done.
Whew. Still got the sub hour, so.
Sub-hour.
All right. Especially with those deaths too. So. Whew, all right. Well, that's the Super Metroid run.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for making that run.
All right.
Well done on the run, too.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for having me over. And
Yeah. Anything you want to plug before you take off?
just want to hope you enjoyed the run. And I guess it's all right if I advertise my own channel.
Of course, yeah.
Just give me a sec here. Actually, is there a way I can use the mouse? I don't know if this mouse is working on this.
Oh, the trackpad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can link things in chat for you, though.
Yeah. It's I guess my Twitch handle is Gameaholic with the number 2 and K as in and K. So yeah, it's what what you're seeing in stream right now, but with the number 2 and K.
Like that?
Yep.
I
C.
misspelled
Yeah.
holic, but
Oops. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I guess just if you like Rec, I do often do a lot of Super Metroid, and I do occasionally do Mario, but Super Metroid is my main jam. And yeah, if you like what you saw, may drop by and do some other categories. The thing that I do enjoy the most is RBO, which is a really brutal category, which involves killing bosses in the reverse order. So basically what you saw, but in the reverse. And there's a bunch of super crazy things in that run. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the run. And if you liked what you saw, also please give Epic Gaming PDX a follow if you haven't already.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And like I said, also drop by the store and give them the support because they're an amazing store. Alright. I think that's it. Thanks for the co-commentary too.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you very much for tuning. Thank you very much for doing this run for us.
All right, thank you. And I think I'll call it here. So,
Awesome.
thanks for having me over.
Thank you. And that's going to do it for tonight's stream of Super Metroid of our speed runs. Thank you much everyone for tuning in. We hope to see you guys next week for another night of speedrunning awesomeness. Until then, enjoy your night. Hope to see you again soon.